Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, children. Welcome to our online learning initiative. In the last lesson, we saw planning, which is the primary function of management. And after planning, the next function of management is organizing. That is our next lesson. What is organizing? It can be defined as a process that initiates implementation of plans by clarifying jobs and working relationships and effectively deploying resources for the attainment of organization's goal. So we need organizing to implement the plan, and the plans can be implemented only by clarifying the job. We have to assign duty to every individual in the organization, and we have to establish proper reporting relationship among the superior and subordinate, and we have to effectively deploy the resources. We have to use the resources, not any resource should be left out. Okay, so each and every resource in the organization should be properly deployed or exploited for achieving the organization's goal. So the whole process is called as organizing. Now we'll see what are the steps involved in the process of organizing. The first step is identification and division of work. Next comes departmentalization. Next is assignment of duties. And finally, establishing reporting relationship. First, identification and division of work. Here, what we are going to do is everything what we have done so far is only the paperwork. That is, we have drafted a plan for the whole organization. So now what is that we are going to do is we have to understand what is the total work to be done to achieve the goals. That is, we have set some goal, and to achieve that goal, what is the total operation or job to be performed. So that has to be first identified, and then it should be divided. The work identified so should be divided in a systematic way. Okay, so by based on the nature of work, we have to divide the work. Okay, so in a systematic way we have to divide the work, and this division of work avoids duplication of work, overlapping, and wastage of effort inside the organization. So our first step, basic step in the process of organizing is to identify the work to be done and divide the work in a systematic way. Next, once after we divide the works, similar natured work should be grouped together, and it should be formed under one department. And this department can be based on the function, that is nature of work, or based on the products, or based on the customers, or based on the geographical locations, and etc. Okay, so we have to divide the work, group it, which are of similar nature, and that is called as one department. Okay, so this is the next step in the process of organizing. After departmentation, we have to assign duties for each and every individual in all departments. So every employee, every individual should be given the work, assigned work. What is the assigned work for the individual, that should be given, and they should be under an in charge. Okay, they should be under a particular in charge. So just drafting or planning how many of them should be under one supervisor, and how many supervisors should be there, and how many assistant managers should be there, how many managers should be there. So overall, what are the duties to be assigned to these people? So that is the next step in the process. And this assignment of duty can be made based on the qualification of an individual, and on the experience what they have in that particular field, and on the knowledge what they have. Okay, so on all these basis we have to assign duties to each and every individual in the organization. And then we have to establish reporting relationship, because when we just assign duties and leave just like that, people do not know to whom they are accountable. So that is brought only through reporting relationship. So through this, we actually define the authority and responsibility of each and every individual in the organization. So what is the scope of their power and what is the responsibility they are supposed to have? So that is clearly defined. And superior subordinate relationship is also clearly defined through this reporting relationship. So when we have this reporting relationship, it will actually help us to create a hierarchical structure. Hierarchy of an organization is very easy to frame when we establish this reporting relationship. So when they understand the superior subordinate relationship, definitely it will improve, or it will help in coordinating their efforts. So each and every individual's effort has to be integrated and coordinated in an organization through various levels of managers, so that through on the whole they achieve the organization's goal. Okay, so this is the last step in the process of organizing, establishing reporting relationship. Okay, next we are going to see the importances of organizing. The first importance of organizing is benefits of specialization. When we systematically allocate jobs to individuals or the workforce, definitely they are going to do the work repeatedly again and again. Okay, so in that case, over a period of time, they gain specialization in that particular work. Okay, so when these people become specialists, it automatically reduces the workload of the person and the productivity is increased. Actually, we assign duties only based on the qualification and experience of an individual. So they would already be have been working there in the particular department for so many years, and that's why we have assigned them such duty. So this specialization will increase the productivity of an individual, and this repetitive performance of the same job will lead to specialization of a particular job. Okay, next is clarity in working relationship. This organizing actually clarifies the authority and responsibility of individual by giving a clear clarity in the working relationship. That is, just now we saw in the step, as a step we saw, it actually establishes reporting relationship. So it means what? To whom an individual is supposed to be accountable, and what is the scope of responsibility they are supposed to possess. Okay, so that clarity is given in the working relationship by this organizing function, and each and every person in the organization knows who is the superior. Okay, suppose if worker is there, the worker 1 and worker 2 will know that supervisor number 1 is their superior, immediate superior, and the supervisors will know who are superior, supervisor 1 and supervisor 2. They will know who is their immediate superior, might be the assistant managers. Okay, so in this way, each and every person in an organization will know who is their superior and to whom they are supposed to be accountable. Okay, and this removes any confusion in the transformation of information and instruction. So any information or instructions to be given, to be said to the employees, will be done easily in a smooth way without any confusion. Okay, and this clarity in working relationship will fix the responsibility and specification of the extent of the authority to be exercised by an individual. That is what the scope of authority is given, the limitation of the authority of every individual is given by this organizing. So within that scope they can analyze and they can use their powers. Okay, next importance is optimum utilization of resources. As we actually are using the resources of the organization, we deploy the resources optimally. Okay, so in that way organizing is helpful in optimum utilization of resources, whether it be men, material, money. So all these three ends, all these three resources are used in a smart way, optimal way, through organizing. How human resource is used is we actually assign proper work to every individual, so this avoids overlapping of work. And when everybody is assigned a particular task, definitely they are going to do their job only, and they cannot duplicate their work. Okay, so when the duplication of work is avoided, a lot of confusions are also avoided in an organization. So in this way we say optimum utilization of resources is possible with organizing. Adaptation to change. As business environment is dynamic, we also are there in a dynamic environment being an organization. So in this case, the changing environment will always have challenges and opportunities for the business. So it is in our hand, that is the management's hand, to convert changes to chances. Okay, so that type of adaptability is possible only when the organizing is effective in any organization. So when the organization is able to adapt to the changes of the business environment, definitely it leads to stability of the enterprise. Effective administration. Organizing gives a clear description of the job of each and every individual and the reporting relationship. So, in this case, everyone's authority and responsibility is clearly defined through organizing. That's why it helps to avoid confusion, and duplication of effort is also avoided when organizing is followed. And it also ensures proper execution of work and brings effectiveness in administration. So proper execution of work is, we know whose work is what. Everybody knows what is the work to be done by themselves. So in that case, definitely they will be executing their work. And also effectiveness in administration is brought through reporting relationship. So just because we define the reporting relationship, the superior will know who should be questioned by the superior, and the subordinate will know to whom they are supposed to be accountable. So this will bring effectiveness in administration. Okay, next is development of personnel. This personnel pertains to the employees or the workforce in the organization. This organizing allows to reduce employees workload by assigning routine job, because based on the experience only we have assigned a job to the employees. So routine jobs are only assigned to these employees. So this gives them time to concentrate on strategic issues and explore new areas for growth. So when a person is specialist in producing in the production department, if a person has worked for 5 or 10 years, then the person, if the person is given the same type of work in the production department itself as usual, definitely he will not be satisfied by doing his regular job. He will try to explore new things, he will try to become innovative, he will try to bring some technique into his production. So he will just try to add some new things in his work day by day. Okay, so this paves way for the creativity of the employee, and definitely the skill of the employee also gets developed by assigning the known work to the employees. Okay, so that's why they develop completely in their own department, and over a period of time, when we have any future vacancy in the organization, we can use these people to promote and fill the vacancies of supervisory level managers. Okay, so that is how we develop personnel, we develop our workforce in the organization through organizing. This delegation develops a sense of responsibility in the subordinates and motivates them to do more challenging work. Delegation actually means when the work to be done is divided by the manager to his subordinate, we call it as delegation. So this division of work, sharing of work, this will develop some sense of responsibility, because when employees are given some work by the manager, then they will think that they have to maintain the confidence of the manager, because with much confidence only the manager would have delegated the work to his subordinates. So subordinates will try to maintain that uh, confidence level of the manager on them, and they will try to work with utmost commitment. Okay, and this motivates them to do even challenging work, even if it is not their usual work, they will try to do it just because of the manager has delegated. Okay, so this develops personal in organizing. This leads to organizing leads to expansion and growth. When everything is going on smoothly inside the organization, it means that definitely they are concentrating to achieve the target set by the planning function. So in that case, when they are able to achieve the target, given target always, they will be successful in the market. And when they are successful in the market, it means they are earning more profit. And when more profit is earned, definitely the organization is going to grow and expand. Okay, so this creates, organizing creates a favorable condition for the expansion and diversification of the enterprise, and it allows the enterprise to add more job positions, departments, or product lines. So we would have seen normally many existing brands in the market are introducing new line of products often. Why they are doing so? It is a sign of their expansion, it is a sign that they grow, isn't it? So new product lines can be introduced, it will be easy. This organizing, effective organizing, will allow the business enterprise to introduce new product line or to introduce new departments. Okay, so this shows, this is a good sign saying that the enterprise is expanding or growing. Okay, so thus we say organizing leads to expansion and growth of a business enterprise. So, so far we have seen the importances of organizing. Thank you, children.